This is Rob Smith. This is my presentation for augmented reality. Augmented reality is where you use a device of some sort from the virtual world to interact with your real world simultaneously. Most things that I researched and found use the GPS coordinates type thing to interact with what you're doing. There were some new ones out there where you had extra devices, they called them markers, that you could use to drive little tiny virtual trucks around on the ground and stuff. I didn't have those kind of devices. They seem pretty neat but uneducational. So far it seems like most of the augmented realities that you can use in an educational setting deal more with using maps or finding something using those QR codes, something similar to that. The one I chose to use is Around Me. Around Me is a application that finds anything in an area that fits a certain criteria. The application is available on Android, on Windows Phone, and using the iDevices. If you're using a phone, it usually uses, as long as you have your data plan, it usually uses your GPS coordinates to determine where you are, the internal GPS. Tablets usually connect. Now, if you have a data plan, it does use your GPS, but if you have a tablet and you're connected to the internet at home, or even your phone and you're connected to the internet at home to save on how much data you're using, it can use your IP address to determine your location. When I opened the app on my iPad, it determined exactly where I am, and here I am right here. I am using an internet-based iPad. It does not have a data plan on it. And you can see that there's tons of things around me. I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere. But anyways, you can see on the left side the things that you can find. There's more than what's just shown there. You can scroll that on there. You can zoom in and out. So here I zoomed from my location and I zoomed out a little bit to show the gargantuous town of Denton and all of its 5 stoplights that it has. Now what I went to look for were banks. So you can see on the left side now, I click the bank tab and it shows up the SunTrust Bank, American Express, Randolph on the left side. You see that right there. And it shows me from my relation of where I am to how far away it is. Now here's my vision as you would use this with education. This is mainly math, pulling in right here. You could determine, okay, I need to find this, what's the distance. You can bring in gas mileage. You can even bring in social studies with directions. What I like about it a lot is that you can do word problems and reverse word problems, like have students create word problems. Some negative aspects that I would change. When I first started with this application about 6 months ago, there were no pop-up ads at the top. Now there are pop-up ads. I guess they decided they need to find a way to generate revenue. And then here, where I did the banks one, there are 3 banks actually located within 3 miles of me. However, it just came up with 1 bank. I don't know if SunTrust paid to be put on here or if the Around Me app is just not up to speed with what's around. That can be a problem. Educationally, you can just still focus on what shows up, but I already know that you're going to be answering questions of the students like, well, I know what's around me. Another problem that why you might need to remove it or need to change it is this bars aspect. Of course, every student is going to want to press that, and you can't really have that on the application. Overall, Around Me it has its educational values. It is augmented reality. You can interface with what you're doing. You can add things to it. It's a good supplement to a lesson to practice skills, practice writing word problems, practice directions, and practice math skills. One thing I didn't like was that when you do click on something, it doesn't give you the directions to it. And then, of course, I was using an internet-based iPad. If I got in the car and tried to drive away and use it as directions, I would lose my internet service, and therefore I would not be able to follow where the place actually is. That's my presentation. Thank you.